Imagine a universe where George Lucas directed Star Trek the motion picture. Sounds wild, right? But this was almost our reality. Back in the mid-1970s, when the film was still in its chaotic development phase, the project was a creative free-for-all. Legendary writers like Ralph Ellison, Ray Bradbury, and Robert Silverberg were tossing around ideas, while Star Trek creator Gene Roddenberry and aspiring writer-producer John Powell were crafting a parallel universe tale. Yet Paramount deemed it not epic enough, and the search for the perfect story and director continued. Powell had grand ambitions, suggesting heavyweights like Francis Ford Coppola, George Lucas, or Steven Spielberg. Even Robert Wise, the mastermind behind The Sound of Music and The Day the Earth Stood Still, was in the mix. But here's where it gets controversial. All these directors turned down the project, reportedly citing a low budget. What if one of them had said yes? Would Star Trek have taken a radically different path? Enter Philip Kaufman, who initially signed on to direct. At the time, Kaufman was fresh off the thriller The White Dawn and had penned the Clint Eastwood classic The Outlawed Josie Wales. He was no stranger to sci-fi, but his vision for Star Trek clashed with Roddenberry's. Kaufman was tasked with immersing himself in the Star Trek universe, even watching 10 classic episodes at Paramount. Remember, this was before streaming or DVDs. Paired with screenwriters Chris Bryant and Alan Scott, Kaufman envisioned a stranded-in-space story inspired by the Horatio Hornblower novels titled Planet of the Titans. It involved the Enterprise traveling back millions of years to encounter enigmatic space gods, a concept that, frankly, sounds epic. And this is the part most people miss. Kaufman even added a jaw-dropping twist, pitting Spock against a Klingon rival to be played by none other than Toshiro Mifune. But creative chaos ensued. Too many producers, too many rewrites, and too much disagreement between Kaufman and Roddenberry led to the project's cancellation. Kaufman jumped ship, directing the 1978 remake of Invasion of the Body Snatchers instead, a film that became a $25 million hit and is still celebrated today. So what if Kaufman's Star Trek had made it to the screen? Would it have rivaled Star Wars, which debuted just weeks after the project's collapse? What do you think? Would Kaufman's vision have been a missed masterpiece, or was it destined to flop? Let's debate in the comments. This is one sci-fi what-if that's too intriguing to ignore.